Hey there, thanks for joining me again. Got some boxing news to share with you today on Coffee with a Goose. And on another winner and maybe another world championship in the offing. So we'll cover that. But first, of course, you got to have a little coffee. I slept really well last night, so I got to have some coffee to wake me up. Oh my goodness. My coffee is, very strong, like my opinion. And of course, you know it, I got to have some creamer in there to make it sweet, just like me. All right, before I get started, please forgive the noise, all the banging and drilling and all that stuff. It's a crazy week around our house. We're getting a new deck. Oh, Lord, we needed it. The old one is rotting and just embarrassing. And then in a couple days, we'll get a new roof. And 2 days after that, a huge party. Of course, you're invited. Our daughter's high school graduation party. It's going to be a really big deal. So we're so excited. Anyhow, let's get into boxing, shall we? Magnifico is magnificent again. Mark Magsayo, the great Filipino fighter, back in the winning track. And he won a title, well, not a real world title. It's a title. Okay, we'll call it what it is. He defeated Eduardo Ramirez, capturing the WBA Intercontinental Super Featherweight belt. Was not a knockout, but next best thing, he dropped Ramirez in the third round, winning by unanimous decision in Las Vegas. Now, Magsayo is a former WBC World Featherweight title holder, and I'll give you a little background on how we came across and discovered Mark Magsayo before I give you all the details. What was it? My goodness, it's been 5 years now. Hard to believe, since Pacquiao won his last fight. That was against Keith Thurman. I believe it was 2019, and it was a tough night. Oh, actually, no. Let me back up. It was 3 years ago when Pacquiao lost, okay, and then he retired. We were in Vegas at the time for that fight, and we're so, it was such a blessing. Manny and company invited us into his camp, and we got to interview everybody, got to see the Pac-Man up close and personal. But then that next night, fight night, it was tough. Pacquiao lost, another Filipino on the card lost, but Mark Magsayo, this was a really entertaining fight. I can't remember the name of the Mexican fighter, and all Mexican fighters are good, as you know, very tough. They don't quit. They're very skilled, and this young man who Magsayo was fighting that night was all of that. I remember Magsayo dropped the guy in the first, I think like the second round, and we're like, yeah, knockout, right? It's coming. No. Well, I'll give you the details. Over the next 8 rounds, this other fighter schooled Magsayo, made him look horrible, embarrassed him. Yeah, just call it like it was. And if you saw the fight, you'll know that's exactly what happened. Magsayo was being beaten up and schooled, and it was just so painful to watch. Then around the 10th round or so, now remember, Magsayo is, like all Filipino fighters, not just a boxer. Yeah, he's a boxer, all the skills, but he's a fighter. Okay? In the end, he's a fighter. And I believe it was the 10th round. They got Magsayo threw a punch and missed. They got their feet tangled up, and Magsayo staggered back and was embarrassed, and people were laughing. People in the crowd were laughing. Guess what? You don't do that to a fighter. You do not laugh. You do not embarrass a fighter. Magsayo, I swear it took like 20 seconds, 30 seconds after that, Magsayo knocked him out. And he was out on his feet, the other fighter, going back. Magsayo nailed him again. And the guy was out for like 10 minutes. It was scary. But again, you don't embarrass, you don't laugh at a fighter. And that's what Mark Magsayo is. Now, he went on to capture the WBC featherweight title, a win over Gary Russell. And, we're so excited and proud of Mark Magsayo, and he actually granted an interview with us. You go back in our history here on Coffee with a Goose, you'll see that great guy, very friendly, typical Filipino, right? All smiles and very cordial, and we really enjoyed his company. He is, but I think we jinxed him. Sorry, Mark, but he lost his next 2 fights. So lost the belt, but he's back on track now. He's won 2 fights in a row, including the one recently over Eduardo Ramirez. Magsayo is now 26-2 on his career with 17 KOs. And, you know, again, if you've seen Mark Magsayo fight, you know, he's a bad dude. Yeah, friendly, just like Filipinos are, but don't pick a fight with a Filipino, especially Magnifico Mark Magsayo. By the way, he moved up in weight classes. He's now in the super featherweight, or junior lightweight, as they call it, 130-pound weight limit. So here's the way things stand now. They're talking about him getting another chance at a world title, and he deserves it. He's a former title holder. There are currently 4 different belts, okay, in the boxing world. In the WBO, Oscar Valdez is the interim champion. He's 32-2 with 24 KOs. In the IBF, Anthony Kasaki, I think that's how you pronounce it. I should know how. He's Irish. 22-1 with 8 KOs. In the WBC, O'Shake Foster, an American fighter, 22-2 with 12 KOs. But his boxing license is suspended in New York, I believe, because he failed a drug test. But anyhow, that's those guys. They're not targeting, if you will, the Magsayo camp, who is actually Pacquiao Productions. Okay, Manny Pacquiao Productions. Pacquiao is the real force behind Mark Magsayo, and they're looking at Magsayo hopefully soon fighting Lamont Roach, who is the WBA world heavyweight title holder. He's an American, and he's good. He's 24-1-1 with 19 KOs. So he's a knockout artist. He's a dangerous fighter, and he's a world champion. Magsayo's people say they're going to go after a possible fight with Lamont Roach. So that will be exciting to see, and probably be either a main event or on the undercard of a main event, and a pay-per-view title. So we'll look forward to that. In the meantime, what's up with Pacquiao? First of all, his son, Imam Bacosa, we talked about him in a recent Coffee with the Goose program. A young fighter, child of Pacquiao. He's 3-0 with 3 KOs, 1 draw. And I originally thought, and I didn't just think, I got it from online, that he was going to fight here a couple days ago, a week ago or so, but that didn't happen, apparently. Hard to get real details on fighters who are, young and at the beginning of their career, which he is. So that did not apparently take place. But I'll do a little more research and find out when Bacosa is going to fight again. That's exciting. And Manny, of course, is training him. And Boo Boy Fernandez, Manny's longtime friend and trainer. So, Iman Bacosa is in good hands, and he has the skill. He's got the Pacquiao blood in him, and he is a heavy-fisted fighter, 3-0 with 1 draw, and all 3 of those wins coming with knockout. Manny Pacquiao, of course, we've already heard that he is going to fight on July 28th in Japan. Can't remember the guy's name, but it's an exhibition. And the guy's a very good fighter. He's won several in a row now, and he holds several belts. And that will be a 3-round battle in Japan. And Pacquiao has us excited about that. And it looks like they're in serious talks now with, goodness, now I can't remember the guy's name. Anyhow, he's a world title holder in the welterweight division, and it looks like Pacquiao's going to fight for another title. He said maybe in November, December, we'll see. Okay, and then back to politics for Manny Pacquiao. But if Manny gets back in the ring for real, we're going to be all over that, just like we have for much of Manny Pacquiao's storied, legendary career. Former 8-division world champion, 5 lineal division world champion. Nobody's ever done either of those. He is one of the greatest ever, maybe the greatest ever. And I say that backed up by facts. Manny he's the man. And now he's 45, going on 46. he ain't over the hill. You and I both know he's still capable of hurting people and more than capable of winning another world championship, and that may come later this year. But in the meantime, we congratulate Magnifico Mark Magsayo, the Filipino slugger who recently won a share of the WBA featherweight title, and it looks like he's going to go for the WBA for real junior lightweight title against Lamont Roach. No details on that yet. No papers have been signed, but that's going to be a lot of fun and very exciting, as all his fights are, and we will cover that as best we can. So there you go. Coffee with the Goose. I got to get going to work. My God, what time is it? It's got everything going on around me, all the pounding and sawing and hammering in my house, and that's we're excited about that. And again, our daughter's graduation party this weekend. I'm so proud. I'll get the Kleenex out. Dad's going to be very emotional here on Saturday. Congratulations to Mark Magsayo. Magnifico is magnificent again in the ring. Congratulations to him. And we'll keep you up to date on the Filipino boxing scene, including the Pac-Man. That's it for Coffee with the Goose. Thanks for joining me. You guys take care.